Full time at the Emirates Stadium, just leaving the ground now. Arsenal 0, Newcastle 0. A 0-0 looked like exactly what Newcastle came for, and they got it. We knew they would be dogged, they would be disciplined, and they would be primarily defensive. They were all those things. For the first time, I mean, pretty much in my football supporting life, Newcastle looked like a serious team. And I don't mean that they're sort of seriously competitive yet for the major prizes, but they are very serious in the way they are organised, the commitment. Defensively, they are very, very good. I thought they defended well tonight as a team, in terms of shape, in terms of structure, but also one-on-one. I think that, I really fancied, for example, Gabriel Martinelli against Kieran Trippier. I think Trippier did pretty well overall in that duel. Dan Burn, look, there were times he couldn't live with Saka, who can, but for a guy who's 6'6", playing out as a fullback, didn't do too badly. Listen, Arsenal have set a standard for themselves where anything less than a win kind of feels underwhelming or feels disappointing. There was a chance to go 10 points clear tonight, and wow, what an extraordinary thing that would have been. But if you can't win, there's the stadium in the background, if you can't win, don't lose. And Arsenal kept a clean sheet, a draw at Newcastle, with Newcastle rather, a team who are, not too far behind Manchester City in the chasing pack, is not a bad result. And I think all of us, if you look at this trio of games, Brighton, West Ham and Newcastle, would have considered 7 points a very good return. There were moments. Arsenal had some good pressure early on, but didn't this time get the goal to sort of crystallise that fast start and force Newcastle to play a different way. For all the pressure and territory Arsenal had, probably two of the best chances came from set pieces. Gabriel had a header in the first half that flew just wide, and then the second there was a near post flick I couldn't quite see. I think it was Martinelli. I thought for all the world it was going to drop in the far post, didn't quite. Eddie Nketiah had a late chance, really good touch and shot in the box. I thought very quick control, good left foot shot, brilliant save from Nick Pope, have to say. Sticks a leg out to prevent it going in the net. I think Arsenal fans will have a lot of grievances with Newcastle tonight in terms of their tactics, the slowing down of the game, time wasting, feigning injury. I don't think the referee did us any favours in terms of being slow to book certain Newcastle players. There's a period at the end of the first half where I felt like he'd lost control of the game, really. And Arsenal themselves were in danger of losing their heads. There were some very meaty challenges going in from the likes of Odegaard and Xhaka. But yeah, anyone who remembers Tim Krul's time-wasting antics for Newcastle, the ghost of Tim Krul was very much haunting Arsenal in this particular game. It got heated on the touchline as well, from what I could see, between Arteta and Howe. Arsenal wanted a penalty late on. Looked like it did hit hand. I would have loved to seen it given, but I think it would have been quite cruel and quite harsh, because I think his arm was almost tucked away behind his body. Sometimes you just can't get the ball in the net, and that's kind of the luck of goal scoring. I think if you think about it, Arsenal made one change, Tomiyasu, who came on for Ben White. He made a brilliant interception, by the way, Tomiyasu. They didn't make another change in the game, and in a match like this where your opponent's on the back foot, you're wearing them down, they're cramping up, it can make all the difference to have some extra legs, fresh legs to come on. Just imagine if Arsenal had been able to call on a Mikel Mudryk or a João Felix, or dare I say even an Emil Smith-Rowe in that final 20 minutes. What a difference that would have made. We really need him back just to provide that variety and that depth. And it's a bit worrying that Fabio Vieira didn't get off the bench, but who would you have taken off? You want Odegaard on the pitch, you want Martinelli on the pitch, you want Saka on the pitch. I think Eddie it is exactly who you want on the pitch in those like dying moments where the ball breaks in the box, as he so nearly showed. Let's have some positives. I thought Alexander Zinchenko was really good tonight, really good. He looked like one of the leaders of the team. His use of the ball, his intelligence, his understanding of the game tactically is top class. I was so impressed. If anything, I think we may have tried to build up through him a little too much. We could have varied it and gone down the right sometimes, particularly in the first half. But I understand the temptation to always go through him. He is that good on the ball. The players on 4 bookings escaped the 5th booking, which would have meant suspension. So we should be in pretty good shape going to Spurs for the North London derby. Actually, I'm hoping that these guys who played the full 90 tonight will get some proper rest now, because we don't play again until next Monday. That is the FA Cup at Oxford. I'm hoping Mikel does the right thing and really prioritises the league in his selection. And then Sunday at Spurs. So let's put some of these boys in cotton wool for what is a massive derby game. Spurs and Newcastle back to back, just like it was at the end of last season. Got nothing from those 2 games. I know that one was at St James's Park, but a point here, 3 points at Spurs would be fantastic. This is a massive month. The big games just keep on coming. A draw, not perfect, but certainly not a disaster either. I think it was probably a pretty enthralling game. That's my impression. From where I was sat, it seemed very intense. 2 good coaches pitted against each other. Don't get me wrong, Newcastle are a good defensive team. Arsenal are a good team, full stop. And on another night, they'd probably win this one. And to be honest, out of those 2 things, a good defensive team and a good team who play attacking football, I know which I'd rather be. Right. Speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.